Susan M. Baganz, and I am an author with Pelican Book Group, and I'm here to talk to you about my novel, Bratwurst and Bridges. Don't know how well you can see that, Bratwurst and Bridges. This is a story, this is the fifth book in the Orchard Hill romance series, and I was trying to figure out who I was going to have as a character. And I decided that there was a character that kind of wove in and out of the other books, Pastor Dan, and that he probably should have his own romance. There was only one problem with that. Pastor Dan was already married throughout the other books. So I had to make him single again. And then, as he was healing, I had to try to find a way to give him the most unlikely wife for a pastor to have. So he meets Sky, who lives across the hallway of his apartment building. She is a single mom of a drug abuser ex-husband. She is an artiste. She is a Zumba instructor. And she has two rambunctious little kids, cute as can be. And Dan is really struggling with his grief. He's got a very complicated grief process. But he also has a neighbor, cute neighbor, who doesn't know the Lord. And so as he tries to work through his healing and recovery from his grief of the loss of his wife, and the years of infertility that they had, which meant they didn't have any children, he finds Sky and meets her and starts to share the gospel with her. The challenge in writing this book, I had people praying for me as I wrote it, because I wanted to be honest about how hard ministry is. Now, I'm not a pastor. My pastor, who was at our church at the time, has read all my books, and I've talked with him at length and other pastors at length about the challenges and the struggles that they go through. I used to be a women's ministry director, and one of the things I did a lot, and I still do, is pray for the leadership of my church, because being a pastor is a very lonely job often at times. And even if you're married, it can be a challenge, just with the burdens that are placed, the expectations that people put on a pastor. So I wanted to be honest about some of that, but not in such a way that would keep anybody from wanting to be a part of a church family. The fact is, we're all at different stages of sanctification and growth, and sometimes the ugly comes out. So Dan has his journey to take. He likes to cook bratwurst. He's got a little bit of a German heritage to him, and he also has the curse of being really good looking, like model type looking. He works out. He's a gym rat, and he plays guitar. He leads worship at his church, so he does work with specific gravity. Johnny and Nico from the previous books, with worship and stuff like that. And he's just a really cool guy. And it was really a neat story to write, to see how God can take the pain of the past. And even though that grief is always there, because when somebody dies, you never truly lose that person. They're always going to be in your heart. And yet you can still have joy and happiness, and that doesn't disrespect the memory of the person who you lost. So those were the kind of themes that I explored in the book. It does have a happy ending, a really cool ending. I don't know who wrote it. My name's on the book, but I'd like to give credit to God for that, because I don't think I could have completely come up with that on my own. So, Bratwurst and Bridges, Pastor Dan Wink's story, and Sky O'Connell. So, and the bridge, obviously, the metaphor for that is the bridge to faith. So, I hope you liked it, and I hope you get it. Ebook and print versions are available.